Siema, z tej strony Big Bad Dice, gramy w Alan Wake Remastered, dalej jesteśmy, no cóż, w tej kopalni, ledwo co wyszliśmy, ale dobrze przycelowana flara sprawiła, że wszyscy zniknęli. Jedziemy dalej, oczywiście zaraz kolejka się spierdoli. Czekamy na to, wait for it. Wait for it. Musisz spierdolić. Ja czy mogę stąd spaść? Czy to jest niewidzialne? O, znaczy mówiłem? Królki mnie zrzucał. O, myślałem, że zostanie na górze. Mam skoczyć? Nie. Po prostu zejdź. Kurwa! Jeszcze biksów tu brakowało. Why? Uklasz. Dobra, idziemy. Jeszcze jeden był. Bezpiecznie. Jezioro Cauldron Lake. 8 co do głębokości jezioro świata zalicza się do grupy jezior kalderowych powstałych w kraterach wulkanów. Sam wulkan należy uznać za czynny, choć od ostatniej erupcji w 1970 nie zanotowano przejawów jego aktywności. Ostatni wybuch nie spowodował ofiar w ludziach, a jedynie niewielkie zniszczenie mienia. Jezioro Cauldron Lake jest jednym z najpiękniejszych miejsc w okolicach Bright Falls. Pojawia się też w wielu lokalnych podaniach. Jezioro jest popularnym ośrodkiem wypoczynku. Gdzie to jezioro? Nie widzę żadnego jeziora. A, że tam na dole, tak? No ja pierdolę, gdzie tu wulkan jest? Inaczej sobie wyobrażam wulkany, chyba że tam. Że to jest wulkan. No dobra, nieważne, idziemy dalej. Wiem, że most i wiem, że będzie na nim akcja się działa, ale sprawdźmy, czy jakiejś amunicji nie ma. Aż teraz już nie jest tak źle, jak było wcześniej. Jak jest. No, czas na akcję. Widzę tam termos po lewej, o tam jest. Dobra, ale przebiec? Nie. Pierdolę, ja nie przyszedł po tym. Aha! Ale jak zaszli z dwóch stron. Faktycznie podejść chcieli. O, żółte plamy. Skrzynka gdzieś będzie. Jest. Manuskrypt. Maszynopis.
Maud had checked all of Stucky's rental cabins. There had been no sign of the wakes. It was dark when he'd found their car parked at the end of the road by Cauldron Lake. It made no sense. They must have taken a wrong turn, but there was no sign of them, and the car had been there for hours already. Frustrated, Mott stood on the rotten ruin of the footbridge that had once led to Diver's Isle before it sank beneath the waves years ago. The boss wouldn't be happy.
Bo zamku jeszcze nie było. Wcześniej był zamek, w poprzednim odcinku się śmiałem, że Menon High Castle, ale teraz jest prawdziwy zamek. Nie, to nie zamek. Teraz kamień. Chnij. I co? A. O, owa. Trzymam się ataku tutaj. O. No! R1 ile mam? Czemu on mnie atakował jak ten, kurwa? Permastanok. I w ogóle wzięli ze wszystkich stron. Koniec. Już byliśmy przed chwilą.
I could see Cauldron Lake. I thought I could make out the spot where the island and the cabin had been. There was a light near it. It had to be a boat. I was close now. I had to get...
Znał tylko te z wysokiego poziomu trudności całe do zebrania.
I tried to hold on to Alice, but her form melted away. I was losing control. Dr. Hartman stood in her place. I wanted to hit him, but my arms were jelly. He smiled. It was a reassuring smile, and I hated him for it. I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period. Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while. They're fast. I dreaded what I would find.
Wait! Are you? Wait! Hey, I'm here! I'm coming! No! Get away! Sorry. Please, lady. The boss didn't know who he was messing with. I didn't know. I swear, I didn't know. We don't have his wife.
Co ma znaczyć? Koniec.
Previously on Alan Wake, I'm hunted by the law.
Sheriff, Wake's running. I'm giving chase.
Are you seriously telling me that writer just took out my deputies?
A thriller I supposedly wrote is coming true. The genre of the story seems to be shifting. It's turning into a horror story. I was told that Alice had been kidnapped, but that was a lie.
We don't have his wife. We don't know where she is.
Her purported kidnapper was eaten up by the dark presence before it attacked me.
Alan, shh, baby. It was just a nightmare.
Alice.
There you go, Alan.
Hartman. I fell.
I had to give you a sedative. Don't fight it. You went through another rough period.
What?
Right now, it's very important that you stay calm. We don't want you to have another episode. You're a patient at my clinic. Have been for a while now. The shock of your wife's death triggered a mental illness.
No, you're You lie.
You're suffering from various symptoms of undifferentiated schizophrenia.
It's okay, Alan. Just let go.
I felt groggy. Whatever Hartman had pumped in me was making me numb. I felt like this was happening to someone else. Someone I was watching on television. I couldn't think. Couldn't focus. The door was locked. I was a prisoner here.
Serio? I chyba.
Good evening, Alan. Are we feeling better now? Feeling calm?
Udas.
Yeah.
Jak
I see you
kurwa.
brought your pet gorilla with you. So sure, I'm calm. I get the message. Loud and clear.
Quite right. That's the spirit. You're being very brave, Alan. I understand you're confused. I would be more concerned if you weren't suspicious of me. I don't blame you for it.
Big of you.
Now, why don't you come with me? We'll reacquaint you with my clinic and go over everything you might have forgotten. Little walk and some fresh air? Yes, it will do you good. This corridor is for patients. Most of them aren't here right now. Jack took them out for a fishing trip, except for the ones who are particularly vulnerable, of course. I encourage creativity as a part of the recovery process here at Cauldron Lake Lodge. I specialize in treating artists.
I bet you do.
Splendid, Alan. I honestly believe we can get this thing under control if we work together. This way, Alan.
Doktor widzę zakład, że nie jestem złym.
Now, Alan, from past experience with you, I know I need to get right into the heart of the matter as quickly as I can after an episode. So I'm just going to say this. Alice is dead.
No.
You're in a very vulnerable state until you understand and accept this. Alice drowned, and you couldn't face that. You're suffering from hallucinations, paranoid delusions, unusual thinking, an obsession about light and darkness, a feeling that everything revolves around you, your thoughts and dreams. Your mind has constructed an elaborate fantasy scenario in which your writings are affecting reality. She has been kidnapped and supernatural forces of darkness are trying to stop you. We go this way, Alan.
I wasn't ready for another shot, so I went along with it. He had to be lying. But under the influence of the drug he had given me, I had to fight not to believe his words.
Ładnie tu. Jaki zegar. Pamięci drugiego przyjaciela wspaniałego poety. W cieniu śmierci istnieje cud życia. TZ.
It's all in your head. You've been making it up. Apart from the tragic accident with your wife, no one has been killed. Your delusions are just a manifestation of your subconscious mind trying to protect you from the too painful truth. Unless we fight the fantasy, it will return. I know the instinct is to resist me, but think about it. Doesn't this make far more sense than the insane supernatural conspiracy you have concocted in your mind? You're a skeptic by nature.
Już Barry to widział wszystko razem z nami.
Everything can be explained logically. I never get tired of this view. Very inspiring, isn't it?
Cauldron Lake spread below us. I could see Mirror Peak on the other side of the lake. I thought I could make out the spot where Diver's Isle had been when I arrived with Alice. Now there was nothing but waves.
Oj, deszcz.
It seems there's a storm coming. Funny, I don't recall there being a mention of that in the weather forecast. Well, no matter. This way. Follow me. Alan, what I'm telling you is good news. Right now we're in control. Every time you have a relapse, it gets more and more difficult to resurface from the dark depths of your imagination. Not surprising, considering your profession. Imagination is what you work with. After all your nightmares,
Będzie deszcz, będzie ciemno, pojawią się majaki.
if it
I doktor się okaże zły. Będzie kolejnym bossem.
or because you don't want to admit that you're not well. It's very natural for you to think of me as your enemy. It's part of the
I
illness.
let him talk.
After all,
Hartman
I'm the
obviously
one
loved
trying
his
to
own
bring you
voice.
out of the
His
world
words
you've
echoed
constructed
madly
for
inside
yourself.
my head.
But I
I
can't
dug my
do
nails
it
into
by
the palms of my
myself.
hands to stay
You need
focused.
to work with me. Once you accept that, we can begin the journey towards your recovery. Come along. Let's go inside.
Co to było?
Here's the entrance to the
A,
office wing.
kolejni chorzy.
Half only. You were impressed by my trophies when you first arrived here. I do love to hunt. The great outdoors, man versus nature. It's wonderful stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I got you. Got you good. I'm a real bad dream, mister. You should be afraid of me. Don't want to run into me in the night, that's for sure.
Please, Emerson. Mr. Wake is confused enough as it is.
Yeah, you'd like me to go away so you won't be scared. But you can't just decide what kind of dream you have or when you have it.
Emerson,
Okay. Sorry. Ew. Elbow strike. Ooh, yeah. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. I'll get him to the head.
you might have noticed a typewriter in your room. You've been writing as a part of the therapy. As soon as you feel up to it, you should continue.
My rheumatism's killing me.
Night Springs.
There's a
To też show telewizyjny. A to gra planszowa, patrzcie.
I hope it wipes this place off the face of the earth.
And these two are the Anderson brothers, Odin and Thor. They had a, how should I put this?
A ich widzieliśmy wcześniej
Metal band in the 70s and 80s called Old
w barze.
Asgard. They even adopted new first names to complete the image of Viking gods. After the band broke up, they lived on a farm nearby. They are, well, in advanced stages of dementia. They're well cared for, TLC and all that. There's nothing more that can be done. I'm afraid that the rock and roll lifestyle has left its mark.
Oh, that won't do. I'm so sorry to cut this short for now, Alan. The power has been acting up. I'd better go check on it. We'll continue this soon. Meanwhile, when you feel up to it, return to your room and try to write. It really is for the best. Don't you think?
I'd like to bash his head in with a hammer.
Oh, he'd love to fish out our secrets, but he has no clue. He's not crazy enough. Not crazy like us, Sonny. Yeah! Being crazy's a requirement, Sonny. Who else could understand the world when it's like this? It takes crazy to know crazy.
That's the sanest thing I've heard in a while.
Zane! You're all right, Tom. Hey, we like him, don't we, bro? He's got to go to the farm.
The Anderson Farm. Valhalla!
We wrote it all down, lest we forget. A crash course. All you need to know to get your head right. You need to find the message.
Here, Sonny, here's something for you. Gave me a rash, but I kept it safe from these bastards.
O,
Zane could feel the poems, taking form, shaping things. As he experimented, he imagined he could almost feel the power surging through the keys of the typewriter. It exhilarated him. But there was fear, too. If not for his young assistant Emil, he would have given it up. But Emil convinced him otherwise. My head was clearing up, or according to Hartman, I was sinking back into the fantasy. I was convinced he was lying to me, about everything. Crazy or not, the Andersons made more sense.
He's not overreacting or anything.
Well, he's the boss.
The doors were locked. Hartman and the nurses would have keys, but there was no way to get my hands on them.
Gotcha. The doc's got me looking after Wake here, but holler if they get too rowdy.
I'll do that, Birch.
jest telewizor.
I'm not myself.
O, kod QR. Ciekawe, czy dam radę go zeskanować. Zobaczę.
I can only focus on writing. Everything else is a blur. I'm trapped in this cabin. Have been for days, but it's always dark outside. My editor is real. I saw her again. She's not human. It's not human. A dark presence is wearing the old woman's face. She was covered in clinging shadows. There's a hole in her chest where her heart should be. I think I've made a horrible mistake. I don't think I'm any closer to saving Alice. It's been lying to me, using me to get the story it wants, and the story will come true.
O! A, myślałem, że kod że było ten. Dobra, spróbujmy zeskanować. Może się uda. Ale blisko. Dobra, lecimy. Nie działa.
Hartman wanted me to write. I knew I couldn't, but I figured I should just play along for now. It was the only thing I could do with Nurse Birch watching me like a hawk.
O, coś zaskoczyło, czekajcie. Jest YouTube. Filmik na YouTubie. Vision 03. Stawiany za niepubliczny. Czekajcie, spróbuję go odpalić, żebyśmy mogli obejrzeć. No tak. O. Kurde, Messenger mi nie działa. Trzeba wysłać link do Kasi. Otworzyć go na kompie, może się uda. Dobra. Trudno. Później najwyżej wpiszę, wrzucę go w opisie odcinka. A czy jest ich więcej? Mogę obejrzeć. Nie działa mi. Ktoś mi się spierdolił z Messengerem, nie mogę.
Hey,
Wake.
why don't you humor Dr. Hartman and give the writing a shot, huh? The typewriter's in your room.
Można pisać pod presją, że to niesprawiedliwe. Co tu mamy? Wie co?
The white glare of the blank page in front of me hurt my eyes. My hands began to shake uncontrollably.
Everybody, calm down. Put that down. Birch, I need help.
Hey, Wake, you stay here. I'm gonna go see what's up. You just keep doing what you're doing. Be cool, okay? I didn't know what the chaos was all about, but it could be my only chance of getting out of here. Hartman had mentioned that the power had been acting up. Maybe that was the reason for the generator and the work light on the balcony.
Now, are we? Well, things are unraveling fast, aren't they?
O, jest.
It's my storm.
It's mine storm!
Barry the Grand Tour, clearly proud of the place. He went on and on about his hunting trophies, and Barry was impressed. But he was here on business. He raised his voice, cut through the monologue. Hey, Hartman, where's Al? Hartman stopped.
I'm taking it.
Sinclair looked bad. That wasn't a love tap. The crazy old fart hit her hard. And if she was one of Hartman's goons, she had it coming. I had to get to Hartman's office. He had taken all my manuscript pages. That's where he'd been keeping them.
Come out and face the music, Birch. It's time to pay the piper. Maybe you could come out and beat the adult diaper ass. Since you're so tough,
Powe malunki.
Hartman wasn't happy. Mott could see it in his eyes. He quickly lowered his own. He had made a mess of it, and he knew it. The shame of failure was hard to bear. He hadn't expected Wake to say he needed more time, and he blurted out 2 days, less than Wake had asked for to show him who was in charge. But that wasn't part of Hartman's plan. The markings on the tape said they were recordings Hartman had made of the sessions with his patients. I saw Alice's name on one of them. For a moment, I couldn't breathe right.
He's so angry all the time. He's getting violent.
Do you mean with you?
No, not with me. No, never. Sometimes I almost wish Alan would take a swing at me, because at least that'd lead to a conversation he couldn't just march out of. But no. Alan doesn't really sleep. And the work, well, he's not writing at all. He sits there for hours and just gets more and more frustrated. And I can't talk to him.
Yes. Tell me, Mrs. Wake. What would you say to him if he'd listen?
I don't know. I want to say, I look at you, and it's not you. Just some stranger who resembles you. Looking out from behind your eyes. And I don't like that guy much. And now it's all gonna go to hell.
But you don't ever say this.
No. I've tried, but he's not listening. He's too deep in his own problems, always going on about something else. I'm so afraid I'm gonna lose him, and we're not even talking anymore. He doesn't let me in anymore. He just keeps me in the dark. I'm so alone here, even when he's home. Please help me, Doctor, because I'm at my wit's end.
Well, if you can just get him here, I'll absolutely do my very best.
Yeah, but Doctor, you need to be careful with him. He's not just going to listen to you and cooperate. He's the most stubborn man I've ever met.
Well, I'll be sure to bear that in mind.
Hearing her voice, what she was saying made me happy and sick and guilty all at once. Worst of all, I recognized the words. The phone call from her. It had been a cut-up of this. Just a recording.
Barry? Ow! About time! Barry, man, I'm glad to see you.
We need to get to Hartman's office.
It's right next door.
You okay?
Yeah. I mean, no! The cops found me at Rose's trailer, but they didn't hassle me too much. I'm obviously a victim in this, and I demanded to be treated as such. Or else I'd sue their asses. Speaking of asses, that Fed gave me a real hard time, but I had no clue.
These were all the pages I had on me. And more.
Alan, please. You're sliding back into the...
Tell me one more lie and I'll shoot you in the face.
Ah, well, it was worth a shot. Really, Wake, come on. Let's work together on this. You have no idea...
Hartman, shut up! Barry, get out of here. I'll catch up with you. Get a car.
Ładnie zrobiona scena.
Wake, listen to me. This is a mistake. Don't you see? Together we can create something absolutely wonderful. With your ability and mine.
Jest tu. I mówiłem, że będzie bossem? Jaki szczęśliwy.
Hartman followed the fall of Alan Wake with his binoculars. When the rider hit the water, he ordered Jack to take the boat to him. The spot was easy to see in the dark, even with all the extra lights in the boat. The flare floated and kept burning even in the water. Jack turned the radio louder as the engine sputtered. The music was rough and clanking, something the Anderson brothers would no doubt have enjoyed. But Hartman chose to ignore it. Wake was...
On się rozlewa.
I needed light to get the possessed bookshelves out of my way.
Czy dalej się zlewa ta toksyna mroczna? A czy udało się, czy nie? A tak. Ej, próbuję przejść.
Hartman knew he was no creator. He had no ambitions on that front, and he certainly didn't want to end up like every artist he had worked with here, damaged in ways that were hard to describe, or worse. It was enough for Hartman to maintain creative control and provide direction, to be a producer. That was what most of these people were in need of anyway. Of course, suitable subjects were few and far in between.
Muszę przejść obok niej. No. łapię tego. Nie wiem, jak tego unikać. O. Udało się. Nara! O, jest Barry.
Found the car, but the gate's locked. You're gonna have to go through the hedge maze over there.
Maze, zajebiście.
Take this, Al. Oh God! Look at the house, Al! Look out!
To co, prawa ściana dla odmiany? Nie mogę się... O! Kurwa znowu dzieje.
I stared at the Viking paraphernalia that littered the area, surrounding an unlikely centerpiece. A full-side stage complete with an impressive sound system with all the trimmings, including a dragon. It took a special kind of crazy to build something like this in a remote field. When the sky split open with a dip. Hartman hurried down the corridor. He had disliked leaving Wake when he was surely at his most susceptible to therapy. But this was not an ordinary storm. Wake had been writing, and he had woken something up in the dip.
Wyjście? Wyjście.
The channel will turn off. fighting it makes peace. You get 2 pills in the morning.
Raczej też nie żyją. Chyba tak. Thor. Nie, to ten. Piekun nasz. Serio?
If you can't, move the channel. We'll turn it off. We don't want any fighting. It makes peace. You get 2 pills in the morning, and then you'll be. Light seems to be lost. That way we I don't have to. Friends, this is just.
Dobra, zdychaj. Gęsto jest, gęsto. O! Takie, no dobrze. To już szeryf. Amunicją. Ostrzelba, dobrze. Manuskrypt, kolejny.
Mott knew that Wake was smarter than him. Wake had more money, a beautiful wife, everything. And Hartman said Wake was important. That made him better than Mott. But Mott was calling the shots now. He'd expected Wake to whimper and grovel, but instead, he seemed willing to fight. Mott knew he'd gotten under Wake's skin. If only Mott actually had his wife. The thought made him shiver.
Dobra, myślę, że tutaj będziemy kończyć. Cześć i słyszymy się jutro. Cześć.